your hands up.
Leroy!
Everybody put your hands up. Let's go.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Whoa.
My mind, I can even tear it up. And every time I step into this building, everybody hands go up.
Get him up, get him up, get him up, get him up.
And they say,
Hey.
Up, down. Cause all I do is win, win. If you going in, put your hands in the air.
Like you say that. Make some noise for Stormy.
Man, I told you this foot wasn't gonna stop me. The universe is powerful. Before I get started, I want to tell you how powerful the universe is. I had a dream that we'd be doing this conference and I'll be wearing a boot because I tore my Achilles. And the universe, I called Ash and I called Marv. I said, look, I had the dream. I'm going to be doing this conference with a boot. They said, don't play ball. Don't play till after the conference. But I let my Brooklyn ego get in the way. And I know the universe has showed me this is your destiny. And guess what the universe showed me? My destiny is to travel the world and change millions of lives. So I'm not mad at the universe that I'm in this boot. It's showing me believe, right? So before we realize where we're going, we have to realize where we came from. Those who know me know I'm very passionate. I had a whole thing for y'all, but I want to tell y'all something. I want to take y'all through a journey through time. 50 years ago, we had 5 generations up until this time. We had the baby boomers, Generation X, we had millenniums, Generation Z, and now this generation, Generation Alpha, within a time frame of 50 years ago to now. We're going to take a historical flashback within those 50 years, and I want you to remember these generations. 50 years ago, Atlanta had the first black mayor. Give it up for that. Mayor Jackson was the first black mayor in Atlanta. Also, George Steinbrenner bought the Yankees $10 million 50 years ago. Value today, $7.1 billion. 50 years ago. I want y'all to stay with me. That's a percentage increase of 70,000%. 50 years ago, the average car was $3,800. Think about that, right? Today, the average car, and not that car, I just happen to like that car, $48,000 50 years ago. That's almost a $1,200% increase. 50 years ago, a loaf of bread was 25 cents. Y'all ain't hear me. A loaf of bread 50 years ago was 25 cents. Today, that cheap bread, not the good stuff we get with the seeds on it and all that whole grain. Today's cheap bread is $2.50. My bread's like $4.75, right? 50 years ago, now that was an 800% increase on bread today. 50 years ago, a gallon of milk was $1.30. Today, gallon of milk, $3.50. That's a 169% increase. 50 years ago, the average home was $32,500. $50 years ago. Today, the average home costs $450,000. This is real. I can't begin to show you what you will miss because we live in our time of saying, this is the worst ever. Oh man, it's so hard. This is the worst we've ever been through. Every time I hear somebody say that, I say, I wish I could sit you down with one of our ancestors who was on that slave ship. You ain't going through nothing now. We think because this is our space and our generational space, right? So now that is a 1,200% increase. What would this house cost 50 years into the future? I want y'all to think about this because we get caught up in out now and I'm going to buy my house later on, but right now and now, bread used to be 25 cents. That house for $450,000. What would that cost now 50 years into the future? This is at a regular 3% increase on properties that appreciate. Regular 3%. $1.9 million. Guys, I want to tell you something. Due to population growth, and I don't mean just children being born, I'm talking about people that are coming to the United States. We had 2 million migrants come here. And I don't knock anybody who's escaping what's going on in their country, because a lot of us people have fled somewhere to be here, and now you're in this audience because of them. Don't let the news have you thinking these people are your enemy. I want you to always go to the top, right? The one way you can make somebody hate somebody else, you give somebody a dime, you give the next person a nickel, and you let them know how much you gave each other. Remember that. Population growth, 50 years into the future. This is where we're at now. I want y'all to stay with me. 50 years into the future. We see the housing shortage now. Imagine what that housing shortage is going to be in the future. We see how many houses are not out there. We see what's going on. My millionaire magnets in the building. Come on, let me hear you with my millionaire magnets. My millionaire magnets know we're out there, we're buying deals, we're doing things. But we also know how hard it is to find real estate because they're buying it up. Stay with me 50 years into the future. Those who know what this is a DEFCON level chart of what the military used to show exactly how safe the country is. I'm using it now for your future. How secure your future is. DEFCON level 5, that's when the interest rates was like a 4, 6. Everything was good. We all buying houses. Oh, man, them interest rates are dope. I'm going to get me a place. Oh, man, they had 4%. Oh. It was all good just a week ago. DEFCON level 4, interest rates are still low, but now housing demand is getting a little tight. You know why? Wall Street went out there, bought a lot of houses. Took a whole bunch of them off the market. So now we see the lines of people looking to buy homes. DEFCON level 3, COVID hits. But we still can go to work. But COVID is now here. We had a DEFCON 3. DEFCON level 2, nobody goes to work. America is shut down. COVID is in full swing of things. Now, this is where I want you guys to understand something. The country has never been in DEFCON 1. Never. You, my people, you are officially in DEFCON 1. I'm going to tell you why. Your children, your grandchildren, your generations, your grandchildren may never be able to afford a house. Never be able to afford a house. The thing that's the cornerstone of investing, the thing that's the cornerstone of building wealth, the thing that they use to build equity, the thing that's used to pay for colleges, the things that you need to be putting in a trust to leave to your children, they may never be able to buy a home if you do not start looking into the future. Do you think the people who was buying bread for 25 cents ever thought it would be $2.50? Why are you not saying to yourself, man, I need to really get a house now, because when my grandchildren are able to buy a house, they may not be able to afford a house. The country wants to create a world of renters because they understood the power of ownership and being a landlord and collecting rent and being able to raise the rent. The power of being a owner of real estate. How many high rises you see go up? And you see on the side for lease. You used to see high rises go, oh, I'm going to buy a condo. Oh, I'm going to buy me. No, not up in here. They want you to rent. Your children and your grandchildren will become forever renters if you do not get yourself into a position of looking into the future and looking past where you're at now. What are you waiting for? No one's going to ring your bell and give you a house and give you a fortune, give you your belief, give you what you deserve. That's up to you. We see the power of real estate. We're witnessing a war right now. I don't want to call it a war. I'm too old to hold back. It's not a war. It's not a war when one side has jets, tanks, a military army against the other side of militant people who have rifles, flew in on paragliders. That's not a war. 3 miles away, where they had their military, they found the way to not go in there and strike yet. But now they're wiping everything out. Why? Because of real estate. It's all about the real estate. This place will eventually have some of the tallest high rises in the world and be some of the most expensive real estate on the planet. Who will help them build that? The United States. Why would you pay people to protect them when they're being bullied? You should be paid. They should be paying you to protect you from the bully, but I won't get too deep in politics today. I see you on my Monday mindset calls, those of you who know I like to talk about this deep stuff. When should you buy real estate? Yesterday. Group economics. I don't want to hear about it. You can't afford real estate. Me and my community just purchased a $12.5 million 12-unit in Long Beach, California. Come on now, that's a reason to shout. You know how we did that? Group economics. And last week, we just purchased a half-acre land in Arkansas. Me and my community. You know what we're doing now? We're looking to develop communities. We're looking to invest in more communities by using group economics. We were taught to be selfish in a good way and in a bad way, and I'll tell you the good way later. We were taught, don't trust nobody, don't tell nobody what you're going to do. Yeah, because you're hanging around the wrong people. I want you to use these programs, use the FHAs, use all of these new programs that are coming up, but I don't want you to be confused. These programs are not for you. The United States' main mission, the government's mission, is to make sure the programs are available for other people, because as Americans, like church, if you feel I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. But if not, I'm talking to your neighbor. We've been too lazy. We have been spoon-fed. You know why 2 million migrants are coming here and they're not renting the buses, they're not renting the hotels. 2 million baby boomers are retiring every year. Baby boomers who gave birth to a generation of technology-driven kids who do not want to do the jobs that their parents did. They don't want to do sanitation. They don't want to work for the phone company. They don't want to do postal. They don't want to do construction. And the United States needs that tax money, and they need these jobs filled. So they're bringing people in to take places, which is not a negative. I'm just showing you. Understand your value. Understand what you need to do. The United States of America is a business. If your children are learning how to make tons of money without having to go to college, how does that impact college? There's a 40% decrease of people going to college. College is a business. So now you bring other people here, and the first generation of these people, they work hard, and then they say, we want you to go to college. So now you bring in other people, what they're going to do? Work hard and put their kids to college. They're going to take student loans because your kids are no longer doing that. And what else they're going to do? Right after take the student loans and graduate college, they're going to buy a house. And they're not going to remember the old price. They're going to be paying the new price. This is a business. I need you to be intentional with your group economics. I need you to be intentional with your partnerships and understanding. There are 217 billionaires. Every single one of them has a piece of real estate in their portfolio. Everyone. You need real estate. You need to be involved with the programs. Out-of-state investing is what changed my life. $8,000 buying real estate out of state. Never seen them. Never had to manage those properties. 5 years later, left Verizon with almost $3 million in asset of real estate because I was buying in smaller markets. Don't let no one tell you buying real estate in Alabama, Cleveland, Detroit, you won't make any money. It's the percentage. It's the percentage. $8,000 first property was making me $6,000 a month. I was making an 80% return on my profit, y'all. 80% return. You must learn how to buy real estate everywhere. Everywhere. Also out of the country. I won't go into that conversation, but you need to expand your horizons. I want you to think about how many baby boomers are retiring and moving to other countries, moving to these coastal places. Well, let me rephrase that back. Moving to places where they can have beautiful weather all the time. Costa Rica, you name it. Why aren't you investing there? Why aren't you considering that? You know why? Because you haven't envisioned what the next 50 years would be like for you, your children, your grandchildren. You're thinking about you. Don't you know there was somebody at the hull of the bottom of a ship praying and saying, time. I need you to stop questioning your win. I need you to stop questioning your win and start focusing on the win. Stop. Guys, I need you to hit play on this sound guy. Hit play on this. Hit play on this video for me, team. Hit play on this slide here. I want you to understand, you are walking sleep. They lulled you to sleep. I need you. Wake up! I need y'all to wake up. We are in a leave it there on that slide. We are in a pivotal time. You will not, I can teach you about trust. I can teach you about how to buy all this real estate, put it in a trust. How these properties, you put them in a trust, and now you hand them down to your generations like Rockefeller did. I love to teach you that. I plan on teaching you more of that. But I want you to understand something. The reason why a lot of people don't execute because you don't have the belief. You want to stay in the place of thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get my mindset together. I'm going to get my mindset together. But if you do not have the same story in your mind, your brain is saying you could do this great thing. Your heart doesn't believe your brain yet because nobody instilled the belief that you can do it. You went straight to mindset. You gave up on one of the most powerful things that you've ever had. As a brand new baby born, you were laid on that floor. You've seen people walking around. You said, man, I got to start doing this walking thing. I'm the only one laying down. You roll. Then you start to crawl. That was mindset. But it started with the belief that you can walk. I want you to think about this as a child. You watch babies crawl towards your leg. You pick them up. They stop crawling to your legs. But why do babies crawl towards inanimated objects? Tables and chairs. It's not calling them. Because they know that's not going to pick them up. Now they get to this table. They get to this chair. They get up and they stand. That was part of the plan. They knew they needed to stand. Now this baby is holding on to this table. He's standing. Now he starts to move down this table. He starts to walk. His mindset kicked in. This is what he envisioned. His belief that he can walk. But he gets to the end. Now he has to look back and make a decision. Do I let go of this table and do this walking thing, or do I go back? He lets go of the table. You get it now. You got the camera. You're like, this baby starts to walk. You get excited. Now the baby stops. Look at you. This baby experiences something that it's never had before. Accomplishment. This baby took a belief that I can walk. Now it starts to get excited. Where is your excitement for your generation? Don't tell me about mindset and you don't have belief yet. Where is your belief that you can be great? Where is your belief that you are owed something? Ever think somebody don't? Nobody owe me nothing. Nobody owe you. Yes, they owe you. Because they've held you back 400 years. You mean to tell me that person who had me locked up, chained to a radiator, who let me go, put me into the wilderness of North America with nothing? You owe me. And I'm not coming to you to ask for it. I'm coming to take it. How come you're not out there saying real estate is the cornerstone? How come you're not taking your piece of real estate? How come you're not partnering up with your crew, your people you get together? And then what you want to do is you want to blame somebody else. Now I got to stop hanging around now. I got to stop hanging around. Then my friend, I got to stop hanging around them. No, you don't. All you have to do is change who you are, and these people will not want to hang around you. Oh, you changed. You damn right I changed. Stop hanging around that which you know brings you nothing. If you look at your phone and somebody calls you and you know all they want to do is gossip, you know what you do? Don't answer the phone. Don't complain. Oh, they calling me again with this. Hold on. See, you inviting them into your space, into your world. This space, the first piece of real estate everybody owns, is sacred ground. Why you want to let people up into this space of yours? Huh? The reason why we are not being motivated, it's not everybody else in it, it's what we've been taught. We've been taught the person who looks like you, who might have a different hue than you, is against you. And I'm telling you, it's a lie. You will be able to attract what you need and what you deserve once you have the belief that you deserve these things. People will see your magnetism and gravitate to you because your shine is divine. No one will be able to tell you that you are not great. So I want to give you something. How many of y'all understand that a loaf of bread was 25 cents 50 years ago? How many of you understand that your generation, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren may never be able to afford a home? How many of you understand that there's a definite plan that's designed to make sure none of your legacy gets to have that last name of power like the Rockefellers have? You know why? Fear. If everybody in this room was to get together and take $1,000, don't you know we could have a community? I didn't say a house. I didn't say some land. I said a community. We don't know how much time we have, but I'm going to tell you something. The universe spoke to me and said, I'm putting you on a mission.
I want you to go out there and speak to the people and let them know somebody out here has been put here to speak to you. I see you. I see all of you. Now that I see you, do you see me? Do you see what I'm telling you? Or will you take this message and take notes and allow your notepads to become smarter than you? There's a story being written right now. A story. It contains your last name. Social media is telling the story of what you did, where you were at, the exact date, 1 year ago from today, 1 year ago today, 2 years ago today. You get that notification on Facebook. I need everybody to do something for me. I want you to go on your social media. I want you to leave a message for your generations that will follow you, that will look at your Instagram, your Facebook. And I want you to tell your legacy, I'm doing this for you. I see you. I hear you. I will take everything that I have to make sure our last name lives forever. I'm thinking about you. I know what you're up against. I know what the world has planned for you, and I want to make it easier for you by providing you the tools for you to succeed. I love you. You may never see me. I'm planting the seeds for a tree that I will never sit under the shade to enjoy. Leave that message for them. They need to know my great-great-grandmother, she thought about me. My great-great-grandfather thought about me. Let me show you who she was, who he was. And then they're going to go to something that's either a version of Instagram, a version of Facebook, and guess what? It's going to look like yesterday. We're in a digital era where our genealogical pool is literally being stored somewhere now. And you, just a preacher, might not be talking directly to you. You choose to not leave a message inside everybody's trust, because I know you're all going to get a trust after this. I need you to create a letter. It's called a legacy letter. I want you to tell them why you were here today. I want you to give them dates and specific times on how you felt. What was your intent? Why you should have this legacy letter. Why you should create this video. Why you should hand this thing down. My trust has a letter that every trustee must hand down to every generation, because I want them to read my handwriting. I want them to see that I knew you was going to be up against something 50 years from now. To all my people in here, please stand up. On the count of 3, I want everybody for me to scream at the top of your lungs. Wake up. 1, 2, 3.